Retros have been on the shelf for a while. You guys did not vote this show in, but with an important election coming up in our home state, I mean, I don't know, man. It feels fitting that Cyber Sunday is the topic today. Cyber Sunday 2006, formerly Taboo Tuesday, or Taboo Tuesday, as Edge called it. But
then WWE realized that having a pay-per-view on a Tuesday was a terrible idea. And I think I told the story how one of my friends ordered Taboo Tuesday 2005, I want to say. And I remember my mom getting off of work, hauling her ass over to the house just to get me over to my friend's house to watch this pay-per-view, and her getting off work at 5, getting me, taking to my friend's house. I missed the first, half hour of the show. Yeah, terrible idea. Even in today's standards, pay-per-views are for the weekends.
Well, even with this whole concept of the fan vote, do you really think that this was such a revolutionary and good idea for the fans to book the show? Because it feels especially clear in a couple of matches that WWE wanted these fans to go in a certain direction, then the fans just pivoted.
100%. And I, was thinking about this as I was watching the show, and this is going to be very apparent in 2007 and in 2008, because this is the way, sure, the voting was not rigged. It was not staged. They gave the fans full power.
It was a shoot.
To vote on these matches. And in 2004's case, it was proven where Chris Jericho famously tells he had no idea he was going to wrestle Shelton Benjamin in the opener, so they had to hold that match on the fly, and it ended up being an excellent match.
It was a damn impressive match considering those circumstances.
It was 100% a shoot, but this is the way WWE sets up these votes. It's like being on a game show. You win the game show, and then the host says, okay, what would you like for your prize? Would you like a $100 gift card to Amazon, a spa day, or an all expenses paid trip to Disneyland for a week? Which one are you going to pick?
Obviously the Disneyland trip.
Yeah, and you would kind of be an idiot to pick all the others. But in WWE's case, it's kind of, here's option A, here's option B, here's option C. Oh my God, look at this. And they were, they never really made it a true, these were all equal candidates. And
yeah.
And definitely in cases in 07 and 08, there have been instances where the fans clearly were leaning one way, but then one option still won. And then in 2008, clearly there was a match that Vince McMahon wanted to go one way and went completely the opposite. I'm talking about Triple H defending the WWE title and your choices being Jeff Hardy, Vladimir Kozlov, or a triple threat. Clearly Vince wanted Kozlov to win that vote, but then we got a rematch from No Mercy, which in a pretty underrated match.
Yeah, rematch from No Mercy, and I don't know, man. It just feels to me like with these shows, it's not like they're, I don't want to say they're horrible at this point, because the matches are not terrible, aside from one on this show, which I'm sure you might guess what it is. But this, it just felt like it was completely disorganized and a complete mess.
Not like the shows are bad by design. It's that, especially as the years go on, and especially with next year's Cyber Sunday, WWE does not give us very interesting choices to pick from. I remember next year's card, and I know we're jumping ahead, they released the entire card after one episode of Raw. I got so excited. I looked at what they gave us, and I go, that's it?
That's
Kane
it?
versus Rey Mysterio, and these are my choices?
Yeah, Triple H versus Umaga, and it's between a street fight, a steel cage match, and a submission match.
And there you go. That's a perfect example. Nobody wants to see Triple H Umaga in a submission match. A cage match is too limiting. These two are in a blood feud. Yeah, we're going to want the street fight.
Yes.
Of course we're going to want the street fight.
I'm going to want this. I'm going to want the street fight. Remy's going to want the street fight.
Yes, he looks like a street fighter.
Yeah,
put him in a street fight with Tito.
Good God.
We're going to get Greg on here, and we're going to book this match.
God. So, Cyber Sunday 2006 takes place pretty much almost 19 years ago to the day, November 5th of 2006, in Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the Bengals. who are terrible this year. And anybody who... I know, yeah. Anybody who doesn't think the Bengals are terrible is lying to themselves. There's 7 matches on this card, and there's 2 of them that WWE is really highlighting. There's a tag team blood feud and a 3-way champion of champions match with all 3 world champions in the ring at the same time. I think it's safe to say that even though this is a Raw branded pay-per-view, the brand split is dead. Like, there's no doubt about that.
I mean, I still think they did a better job of structuring it as they do today, but I will say this was living proof that the product was really in the shitter at this time. And I'm sorry to cut off, but if y'all hear a train in the background, I apologize. I live extra tracks. I have headphones in,
nice,
but this is a loud motherfucker, so if you hear it, sorry about that.
Tell him to shut up.
It really proves that the product at this time was really in the shitter, that we're resulting to my favorite match concept in the world, champion versus champion. I hate that concept. They still do it today, and I fucking hate it, and I will go over why I hate it again. In a champion versus champion match, someone's got to lose, so it's either you pin a champion, which I can't stand, or it's a schmoz, and I hate schmozes.
The big-time schmoz, and this
WWE makes this a yearly tradition now with that stupid crown jewel title, and now either the WWE champion or the world champion gets pinned, or you get really stupid instances like in 2019, the Raw After Mania, where Kofi Kingston and Seth Rollins just won their respective world titles, and they go, hey, let's put both titles on the line.
That was
not going to take
so
the title off of either of them.
That was
they would have
so
taken the
stupid.
title off of Kofi Kingston, the goddamn building, the Barclays Center, not Barclays Center, wherever
it was the Barclays Center.
Okay. I had a feeling the Barclays Center would have shat their pants.
Yeah, or they would have burnt the building down. Yeah. Ironically, because Seth Rollins is the one that took the title from Kofi, but yeah.
So my point being is that champion versus champion is almost always a terrible idea, and in the case of a title for title match, that means whatever plans you have for a current champion are all going to get shot down the drain because now one person is going to be holding both titles.
This was not title for title, though. The fans got to vote in which title was on the line. So basically, when they vote in who they vote for to have their title be up for grabs, they're basically picking the winner of the match. You know, because none of these champions are losing their titles at this point in the story. No. So, but before we get there, we got a few preliminary undercard matches to go through. We have in our opening contest the fantastic, late great Samoan Bulldozer Umaga, and he is out there. And God, yeah, this guy is—they're strapping the rocket to him. He's undefeated. It's very clear that he's going to be set up as a monster for John Cena to overcome at some point. But we've got a few interesting choices for who is going to wrestle Umaga. You have either Chris Benoit, who I will note was just crowned the new United States champion on SmackDown. He's looking as intense as ever. He just came back from his sabbatical, i.e. grieving the death of Eddie Guerrero way too late.
You have Kennedy for the title, right?
He did. Because Kennedy was the U.S. champion in our last pod that we did when he wrestled The Undertaker.
He got distracted by Taker in that match, and Benoit won the title, which proves that Kennedy's United States title run was one of the most pointless title runs in WWE history.
Yes.
He did jack dick with that title.
Especially because the match against The Undertaker at No Mercy was not for the U.S. title.
No, that was the only pay-per-view he was champion. They put the title on him just for him to have an accolade.
Yeah, so Benoit is holding the U.S. title here, and he'll hold on to the U.S. title basically for the rest of his life. Up next is you have ECW's beer-swilling, cane-swinging, cigarette-smoking maniac, the Sandman. And your other option is the Big Red Machine Kane, who Umaga has beaten not once, but twice.
And the second time he beat him, Kane got banished to SmackDown because it was a Loser Leaves Town match on a special episode of Raw. I can't remember which one it was. But Umaga beat Kane. Kane showed up on SmackDown as a mystery opponent for MVP, which we will continue his story arc in the Survivor Series pod. So basically the way this is being set up, and I was looking at this in the mindset of a 31-year-old and not a 12-year-old. Because as a 12-year-old, I see these options and I go, oh my God, obviously I'm voting for Kane because I want to see Kane get his revenge.
That was, no. And that's
what the WWE wanted us to do. They wanted us to get another Kane and Umaga match.
I think, where you're going with this is that I was of the same mindset in hindsight. Which of these three options would give Umaga the best match?
Oh, yeah. And as a 31-year-old, I'm actually looking at these other options and going, you put these guys in a no-holds-barred situation, and Sandman and Umaga would be really fun.
You
put Benoit and Umaga in the ring together, that would be a underrated, hidden gem of a match.
That would be stiff as fuck.
It would be. But the only issue with that would be is clearly it wouldn't be for the United States title. They weren't going to put a SmackDown title on Umaga, and then the new United States champion would have gotten pinned. That's the only reason why I'm happy this didn't happen. But you put these guys in a match, goddamn, they would have tore it up. And
they would have torn up.
So Kane wins the poll with 49% of the vote. But I'm looking at these you would think that Benoit would be in second. No. The Sandman, believe it or not, in 2006 WWE was very overspilled. He got 28% of the vote. So there was a good chunk of the audience that wanted to see Sandman and Umaga go at it. I'd want to see that match if it was in an original ECW setting. Let these guys beat the pulp out of each other.
Or in the ECW arena.
Yeah. If that match were to happen, I would want Umaga to leave Sandman in a pool of his own blood.
Good God, yeah, Stairway to Hell style.
Yes.
I remember that ECW match between Sandman and Sabu where, you had to climb the ladder and get, the crown of barbed wire, and whoever got the barbed wire could use it as a weapon. That was an insane match. But anyway, you get Umaga and Kane here. Kane was being very aggressive early on because he's looking for revenge against the Samoan Monster. But this one, it was a fine enough Haas fight. It was decent. It was
better than their Unforgiven match. I'll give them that.
Yes, because you actually did have a clean finish. So
this is more of the style of match I want to see these guys have. They got a solid 9 minutes, which is still not enough. I would like to see these guys go for 15, dare I say. But once they really started getting out of the wheelhouse, it's a fine enough Haas fight, as you said. But it was clearly just Kane is once again being death fodder for Umaga. And at this point in Kane's career, he's there to put the big men of the future over.
Kane is
Big Show and kind of to an extent Undertaker. They were there to set up the future of WWE.
Yes, Kane was very much. Do I want to say floundering? Because it seems like
we're about to enter the resurrection of the Brothers of Destruction storyline, which I think is fun enough. But it's not like he's nowhere near him chokeslamming Eric Bischoff off the stage, him being in a blood feud with Shane McMahon, him battling Matt Hardy for Lita's hand in marriage. He's not really being given. He doesn't have any storylines on SmackDown. And let me tell you, he's not going to have any storylines on SmackDown that are any noteworthy, because I know he has a match at WrestleMania, and I'm not looking forward to talking about it. It's dog shit. It's bad. Kane, you're right. Kane is going to be floundering for quite a while.
Which sucks, because Kane is legitimately one of my favorite Haas's of all time.
I mean, in 06 and 07, he wasn't doing much. They do try some things with him in 08, and then in 09, he goes back to floundering. In 2010, they put the fucking world title on him, and then they just repackage him, and Kane, I don't want to say he's just there for the remainder of his career, but he's definitely WWE's living experiment. They're like, we have Kane, he's a for-lifer, we're going to try stuff with him. A lot more miss than hit. I want to say, I really wish, and I know we're kind of going on a Kane tangent right now, the most interesting thing he's going to do is when they do resurrect the mask, and what he was doing with John Cena was kind of interesting, but they flushed it down the toilet because he was fodder for Cena in his feud with The Rock, and then he just goes back to really doing a whole lot of nothing.
Fuck the embrace the hate storyline. Seriously. Fuck that storyline.
It would have been fine if it actually worked.
Yeah.
Kane actually did influence Cena to turn heel, but in the beginning of 2012, it was an interesting storyline. But the fact that they never followed through with anything was just like, oh, Kane's back. We want to put the mask back on him. Cena needs someone to feud with until Mania. He needs someone to help hold him off, and they're not going to put the title on him this close to Mania because A, this feud's not for the title, and B, CM Punk is kind of doing something historic right now. Yeah, wow, we really went on a crazy tangent.
We really did. We really did. And
because
you know
this
what?
match is not much to talk about.
That's what the ZNT wrestling show is all about, going off the rails and getting off topic, right? But anyway, I'm just pulling your leg. This match, like we talked about, you know, it's a Haas fight that exists in the year 2006. I did like the finish though, because Kane goes for his patented top rope clothesline. That is always so impressive when you see Kane do it. Umaga catches him in midair and nails the Samoan spike while he goes for that top rope clothesline. Pins Kane because, of course, he fucking does. I think anybody you put in the ring with Umaga, vote them in. They were going to lose, definitely. Yeah. Because Umaga is on the ascent to be the next monster for WWE Champion John Cena to conquer. Two and a quarter, I think. I think if they got a little bit more time, it could have been better. But
oh yeah, I'm gonna give it 2 1/4. And like I said, I still enjoyed it more than the Unforgiven match. I don't really recollect their loser leaves town match, but I remember that being fine. Not this feud could have been so much more, but I don't know. Like I said before, in this time period, WWE had not perfected the formula to having a very good Haas fight. I give all the credit to Big Show and Braun Strowman in 2016. Yes. Those guys really showed the world, hey, you want to put two almost 7 foot tall, 300 plus pounds dudes in a match? This is how you fucking do it. And carnage, destruction, broken rings, broken tables, broken barricades, broken cars.
Big Show
really set the formula for how Haas should fight.
Big Show doing wrist locks and Braun Strowman hitting drop kicks.
Yeah, then again, I think Big Show, that was the last time Big Show ever did his fucking top rope elbow drop that he used to do in almost an ECW, WCW, which was insane.
I mean, technically Big Show was in ECW for a little bit, as I'll talk about.
Oh, but he sure as hell wasn't doing elbow drops. That man would have had a fucking heart attack
if
he jumped off the top rope in 06.
Which, speaking of Big Show, the next thing we see is him backstage with the ECW title looking like a complete toy on his shoulder. And Big Show at this point in his life, unfortunately, he looks like my refrigerator. He's absolutely gigantic. Queen Charmel walks into the locker room, and she basically proposes that her husband, King Booker, and the Big Show form an alliance against John Cena. And the crux of Big Show's response is, I don't trust you or your husband, because I'm a giant. I'm the ECW champion.
And look, I don't know. We know that the running joke forever and ever and ever is, haha, Big Show is fat. But let me tell you, this man was gigantic at this time.
Yeah, he was
520 pounds, which I know in the pro wrestling world, the heavier you are, the more impressive it is. This man was one move away from a fucking heart attack. And I know we're jumping the gun again a little, but I'm kind of glad he stepped away from the business for a year because he was, I hate to say it and I hate to be extremely morbid, I don't know if Big Show would still be with us today if he were to continue down the trajectory he was going. He was not okay.
No, he was not. As much as we want to beat around that bush, he was not doing well around this point in his life.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he took time away from WWE after a certain pay-per-view to get lean and get mean again.
And the ironic thing is of course we'll delve into more when we get to that pay-per-view. Big Show's leave from WWE was kind of forced. I don't think he wanted to leave, and WWE was like, you need to get yourself into shape, kind of like they tried to do with Kurt Angle, or, we're going to fire you. So they kind of parted ways. And again, I'll save that for when he does make his return, when he does leave. But I remember, Big Show returned to the Indies for a minute. And he was actually, when people call him the Big Show, his response would be, that's my slave name. So they did not leave on the best of terms when Big Show parted ways with
I
WWE.
forgot that. I forgot about that. But
also, Big Show in the indie scenes is insane. Big Show in an indie match is crazy.
Oh, Big Show in an AEW match against our boy QT Marshall is also insane. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. Next time we meet QT, we should be like, hey, how was it working with the large performance?
How was it working with Captain Insano?
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
How old are you, kid? Like 12?
I am 31 years old. Jesus, the
Not
Water
gonna
Boy.
lie, dead ass, my favorite scene of the Water Boy.
The Water Boy is a piece of shit, is what it is, but it's a fun piece of shit.
It really is. It really is. Anywho, now let's go to the current state of the tag team division.
Oh my god.
WWE. So AJ Styles and Dragon Lee just won the World Tag Team titles. Oh, wait. This is 2006? Wait, nothing has changed? Well, goddamn.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 4 of, in huge quotation marks, of the elite tag teams in WWE on Monday Night Raw, vying for a chance for a shot at the World Tag Team titles. It's Cryme Tyme, JTG and Shad, which I fucking love.
Yes.
The Highlanders, Robbie and Rory McAllister, who we did cover at the Unforgiven Pod when they
What are they
challenged the
doing?
tag team titles.
What are they doing in the Impact Zone?
He's watching the show and he just got his ass fired.
Yeah.
Charlie Haas and Viscera, who after this I do want to tell a funny story about. It's not everybody knows the story, but we need to recall on it. Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch.
That's a random ass team. Charlie Haas and Viscera.
Everybody knows about this story, but I think it's fucking hilarious. Kind of a little shitty of Haas, but still, it's funny. So when Haas and Viscera were teaming up, they were wrestling on an episode of Raw. I don't know if it was, I'm pretty sure it was before this pay-per-view. For some reason, Haas just made a beeline to the ring and he immediately went to run the ropes. He didn't even check to see if Lillian Garcia was safely off the apron, and he knocked her ass off the apron, and I think he sprained her ankle.
Yeah, not cool.
Yeah, if you watch the original broadcast of it, they catch it right as Lillian is being knocked off the apron. But I think Lillian Garcia has told the story in full detail. She doesn't hold any ill will towards Charlie Haas, especially now because I don't think he's doing well health-wise. But I think she was thinking, yeah, it was a little careless of him, and I don't even think she ever got an apology. But it's kind of a funny nugget of history. When I see Haas and Viscera, the first thing I think is, remember when Charlie Haas just fucking knocked Lillian Garcia's ass off the apron for no reason?
Yes. Yeah, so this the options for it were a tag team turmoil, just a normal fatal 4-way, or a Texas tornado match. And obviously, with 50% of the vote, Texas tornado wins the day. But you only get, there's not really a whole lot to talk about with this match, really, because they got 4 minutes. 4 minutes, or as Tomas says, 1 minute per team.
It really was true back in this era. Vince McMahon did not, there was 2 things Vince McMahon did not care about: women and tag teams.
Vince does not like tag team wrestling. But I will say that the right team went over in Cryme Tyme because they were the overact that was just getting, that was just getting hot. And can we talk about JTG and Shad for a second and just how likable they are?
Charismatic.
It almost, like, the vignettes that Cryme Tyme was airing before their eventual debut on Raw, it brought me right back to the vignettes that Los Guerreros had a few years before. Just different culture,
I was gonna say
it's different culture.
Gimmick very dated and a little tacky. Absolutely.
Yes.
Were they trying to be Black Los Guerreros? Absolutely. But JTG and Shad just had a sort of this charisma to them where you could kind of look past it. And if you don't know what we're talking about, basically JTG and Shad were the most stereotypical black men you could find. And their gimmick was they fucking stole shit and sold it to the crowd. Yeah, a little tacky for sure. I mean, Los Guerreros was just as tacky if you ask me, but Eddie and Chavo were on a different level where you could almost basically ignore it. I don't think you could as much with JTG and Shad, but goddamn, were they entertaining.
Yeah, it's... and, it was JTG as the exciting hype man who is sort of a high flyer. I don't really think JTG had a whole lot of high-flying offense, but Shad was obviously the brute between the two. JR did say on commentary that Shad was arrested 23 times for assault, which I can only assume is playing into the character that Shad was playing.
I don't think you can be arrested that many times on the same charge and avoid prison time. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
And I think the best way to describe JTG and Shad were JTG was the brains and Shad Gaspard was the brawn.
Definitely. And they were a perfect tag team together. Like, those two complemented each other so well.
But you want to talk about how much Vince doesn't care about the tag team division? Vince doesn't care about the tag team division so much that even though Cryme Tyme won this match and this was a number one contenders match, Cryme Tyme never gets their fucking title shot.
They never do. Mainly because like they saw the footage and they were like, oh, Cryme Tyme stole the win from the Rednecks, Cade and Murdoch, because they hit a high-low kick, I think, on Roddy of the Highlanders, and Cryme Tyme throws Lance Cade outside the ring, and then they steal the pinfall, and then shortly afterwards they steal Jerry Lawler's laptop at ringside.
Yeah.
So, perfect.
To their credit, if you can steal a laptop, you can get a few $100s for that thing. So a profitable steal, if you ask me.
Couldn't have happened. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy too. Jerry Lawler is livid on the outside, and JR is just sitting there chuckling at the fact that Shad has Jerry's laptop now.
So a few points I want to make about this. Number one, Vince clearly doesn't care about tag teams because he never gives Cryme Tyme their title shot. I remember being a kid and every single week on Raw asking myself, when are Cryme Tyme going to get their title shots? When are they going to get their title shots?
They never did.
Title shots. So long to the point that in January, Cryme Tyme wins another number one contenders match for the tag team titles. So they're putting these title shots in the bank. And they're just going to come out and be like, I got 5 title shots filled up. I want them all.
Yeah.
I'm just next week. I'm
just going to wrestle the tag team champions 5 times on the same show, and I'm just going to keep cashing in my title shots until I beat them.
That should be a thing. You should be able to stock them. They should be stock in SmackDown. Shut your mouth.
They should put them in savings. Put them in savings, and then be like, hey, when I need to pay my debts, I can pull out of savings and be like, hey, I want this title shot now.
Yeah. And then the last point I want to make, this is probably another reason why they never got their title shots. Cryme Tyme actually get fired. They were working the house show circuit with Cade and Murdoch, and there was a miscommunication in the ring with the referee, and Cryme Tyme shoots on the referee and gives them their finisher. The ref is very understandably pissed off, and he tossed JTG and Shad their jobs. They disappear for 6 months, I want to say, and then they get rehired. They realize it was a big misunderstanding, everything water under the bridge, and Cryme Tyme would come back to the WWE for 3 more years until they broke up.
Yeah, which is nuts.
That in WWE Magazine, and WWE Magazine used to peel back the layers a little, and they would interview wrestlers. And I remember one of the questions was, "Hey, let's address the elephant in the room. Why were you guys fired?" And they told the story. It's oh yeah, we got fired, but they brought us back a few months later.
I completely forgot that they were fired briefly, because this team, with how over they were, despite them being fired, how in the fuck did these two never win the tag titles? These two were so over in a tag division that was dead to rights. So
yeah, they, for all intents and purposes, should have been the tag team champions, but as we will cover later on in the show, they're kind of not putting the titles on a higher space on the card. Just the people who are holding them are in a higher place on the card.
Yeah, the tag titles are mainly used as props to propel feuds forward, which is a shame. It's a damn shame.
To the point where later on at a certain other pay-per-view we will cover, there is a tag team match with the tag team champions in them, and they wait until the Monday before Raw to put the titles on the line, and the match isn't even about the titles. The titles are a complete afterthought. I remember screaming at my TV saying, why is this match not for the titles? a tag team match with the tag team champions on pay-per-view, semi-main event, and it is not for the titles.
No Way Out 2007. John Cena and Shawn Michaels are the tag champs, and like, how come Batista and Undertaker aren't challenging for the tag titles? Like,
honestly, at this point, you know, considering where the titles are, that's as bad as main eventing a pay-per-view with the world champion and he's not defending the title in a one-on-one match. Like, why would you do that?
Or why would you put two world champions teaming together against a team of bad guys? Like, it just seems like a waste.
Clearly, again, 07 is approaching very fast, and the product is going to be in the shitter.
It's the darkest year in WWE history, for sure.
Is. I'm not looking forward to talking about it. And I'm not just talking about just Benoit. I am talking about the product as a whole.
Yeah.
2007 has to be the worst year in wrestling.
Yeah.
Second, 2010. Third, probably it's a tie between 2011 and 2012.
Man, yeah,
followed by 2019
going to be
2020. Those are probably, there we go. Boom. In my childhood, 5 worst wrestling years: 2019, 2020, 2010, 2011, and 2007.
Jeez, yeah, we're really going to be getting into those crappy years as the years go by on this retro. But the match gets 1 star. It was way too short to really be anything noteworthy, but at least the right team won. So
could have been on television.
Yeah, this could have been on Heat. You know, really.
Yeah.
It could have been on Heat.
No, we got Super Crazy versus Rob Conway on Heat. So
of course we did. Of course we did, because why wouldn't we?
Take that shit to the bank.
I fucking love this next segment, man. I can't wait to fucking get into this. So we run into Shawn Michaels, who is voting.
Oh, this is iconic.
Voting.
This is the most memorable part of this show, by the way. I'm just going to put that out there right now.
He is voting.
Is the most memorable part of this.
It's so funny. It's so funny, and it's living proof that 2006 DX I actually did find really funny in a lot of cases.
Is probably the first time since Hollywood Rock.
Oh my god!
I have belly laughed at a segment. This was one of those very rare instances where the WWE was truly funny.
It was so hilarious. So basically, Shawn Michaels is just, he's one of the 14 million people who's voting, and he's voting last minute as a guest, because his match is coming up in a matter of minutes. Triple H is joining him, and he's basically, they're going over their options, and they stumble on,
Very, very love this point of detail. Shawn Michaels is notoriously known for not being tech savvy whatsoever.
No.
Back in the 90s, they would pull this joke with him when the internet was first born, how he'd be ticking away at a computer trying to figure it out. And he has said countless times in interviews, I don't even know how to turn a computer on.
Yeah.
So him just like picking and poking at a laptop is fucking hilarious, and it beats that narrative. I think it was just a couple of years ago that Shawn Michaels finally got a Twitter, because again, he said,
of course he did.
I don't know how to turn a computer on.
Of course he did.
I barely know how to work the smartphone. It's not that I didn't want to have a Twitter. It's I didn't know how to fucking set it up.
Oh, Sean, bless your heart. But they're talking about one of their options in Eric Bischoff, who just came out with a new book in his time away from WWE called Controversy Creates Cash. And his appearance in the build-up. Yes, it's a fantastic book if you haven't read it. And in the build-up to Cyber Sunday and Cyber Sunday itself, basically Eric Bischoff was here to promote his book. And Hunter is basically trying to get Shawn as pissed off as possible, because he's like, oh, Eric said DX does no controversy, and then Shawn hilariously is looking at Hunter, and he's like, I'm the one who put Brett in the sharpshooter, you know.
Which, goddamn, can I just say, between 2002 and 2010, Shawn Michaels, the gall on this man.
I know.
Casually bring up the screw job.
Balls. Like, and the balls to tell Hunter, he's like, well, you're the one who married, what's her name?
Yeah, because that was another running joke in WWE that I never understood. Pretending that we don't know that Triple H and Stephanie were married when they were an on-screen couple in the Attitude Era.
Yes, and Hunter at this point knows that he's getting under Shawn's skin, and he wants to get him as fired up as possible for this tag match. And Shawn gets so pissed off that this happens. Oh, shit.
Stand. Oh! See? I just kicked Stan. Calm down, Sean. Don't tell me to calm down. Nobody tells me that I don't know controversy. You gotta be kidding me.
So, Shawn...
So if you don't know what happened there, Shawn Michaels finds somebody working in the back named Stan, asks his name, and then just super kicks him. And for the fans at home, who was Stan?
So Shawn, that super kick he hit on Stan was a perfect 10, if I do say so myself, because Stan
it would only be even better if he was sitting in a chair.
Yeah, Shawn Spears / Ty Dillinger was playing the role of Stan, and Shawn yells, "See, I just kicked Stan!" at Hunter, and clearly Triple H has done his job, because he's just sitting there laughing, and he's seeing Shawn super kicking people as he's going down the hall. Papers are flying everywhere, and Hunter's like, "I don't know if that's controversial, but it sure as hell is funny." And I'm like, yeah, it was. I agree. That was
And I need to take back some words. Earlier I said this segment made me belly laugh. No, DX's antics in 2006 were the first things to truly, genuinely make me laugh since Hollywood Rock in 03. Because I remembered before this,
oh my God.
I'm sorry, I know people are going to say it's stupid, but when Triple H and Shawn Michaels dressed up as Vince and Shane, that was fucking hilarious.
Oh my God. And then they played the Stand Back music video, and Hunter was just dancing like a complete buffoon to it.
In that segment, I don't care. I'm probably wrong, but I thought that was funny.
Yeah. So this next match, you might find it funny considering who the fans selected to wrestle Jeff Hardy for the Intercontinental Championship. Yes, you heard me right. Jeff Hardy is the new Intercontinental Champion since the last time we talked. Jeff Hardy at I think it was like the Raw season premiere or something like that. He defeated Johnny Nitro to win the title. And now he's here and he's got 3 options. He's got Johnny Nitro in a rematch, Shelton Benjamin in his like fancy Hawaiian shirt era, and Carlito. And I've had a lot to I've been a Carlito defender since we brought him in 2004 and we started talking about him. But Carlito is voted in what is a pure babyface contest. The fans
before we get into this match, I gotta say the fall from grace that is Shelton Benjamin, because I voted for Benjamin in this match. The WWE has clearly stopped caring about Shelton Benjamin, and not only have they stopped caring about him, they were so hell-bent on putting a gimmick on this guy. First, they tried Mr. Benjamin, and then they realized this guy's too goddamn good of a wrestler for a gimmick. That ran its course. They tried pairing him with Mama, and now
that didn't work.
You said it best. They put him in a Hawaiian shirt and said, "There you go. There's your personality."
Yeah, the Rock's $500 shirts and his shades.
They just stopped caring about Shelton Benjamin,
which sucks because
he is going to flounder for the next 3 years.
Do you remember when Shelton was the Intercontinental Champion around this point 2 years ago in the retrospective?
Yes.
And JR was sitting there saying that Shelton was the future of WWE in a lot of the matches, like he had with Christian, Chris Jericho, Rob Van Dam, all these people. And Shelton was constantly showing up.
And I think the reason why they didn't pull the trigger on him is because they were so hell-bent on this man having a gimmick.
This
man has every athletic gift in his toolbox, but nope, he's got to have a gimmick. And no, I'm going to tell you right now, and today's product proves that. If you are a good enough goddamn professional wrestler, you don't fucking need a gimmick. You think Will Ospreay needs a gimmick?
No, not at all.
You think,
it's the
Ilya Dragunov needs a gimmick?
No. Fuck no. Ilya Dragunov.
You think fucking Kenny Omega needs a gimmick?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Those people are way too good. But, since Carlito is the babyface, he does win the vote, 62% to wrestle Jeff Hardy. I wanted so hard to defend this match. I really did. But it wasn't very good. It wasn't very good.
Mid.
Yeah, it was not very good.
You know what? I'm going to say it. This match was mid because Carlito is not a good babyface.
No. If Carlito was a heel, then this probably would have worked wonders. Because Carlito,
why Carlito doesn't work as a face for two reasons. Number one, he doesn't know how to act like a baby face. I will always go to bat and say that being a face is way harder than being a heel because it's easy for the fans to hate you. Just go out there, kick an old lady out of her chair, kick a cat, fucking litter. It's so easy to get people to not like you, but it is 10 times harder to get people to like you.
Yes.
I call it the Cody Rhodes theorem, the John Cena theorem. You try so hard to please everybody, you're not going to please everybody.
No.
But if you can be that special type of babyface that gets the entire crowd behind you, that's a very difficult feat. And Carlito did not know how to connect with the fans in that way.
No.
Also, his antics remained the same. He wasn't a likable cheater like an Eddie Guerrero. He just cheated. There was no reason to like him. I had no reason to like him other than the fact that I was 12 years old and I was in the mindset of, if you're a good guy, I have to cheer you. If you're a bad guy, I have to boo you. Nowadays, as an adult, I have to look back and say, okay, babyface, why should I cheer for you? And 9 times out of 10, they give me a good reason to cheer for them. And then for the heel, I do have to go, make me hate you. You know why we hate Dominic Mysterio? It's because he turned on his father. He went out of his way to make himself the most unlikable piece of shit in the world. Randy Orton was also good at that. Edge was also good at that. You need to give me a reason to not like you. And Carlito was very good at giving me a reason to not like him. But giving me a reason to like him, other than the fact of, oh, he's a babyface, I'm going to cheer for him.
Yeah.
He really gave me nothing.
Well, I mean, and the fact that in the whole debacle with Chris Masters earlier in 2006, Carlito was the shithead that was turning on him. And the fact that he's the babyface between the two.
I don't want to go this far, but in a weird way, when Masters was a babyface, I had more of a reason to like him for some reason. Because not right now. I'm saying, like, oddly enough, in like 2009, 2010, when Masters returns to WWE, he kind of became like the plucky underdog. He kind of became the, I'm really working on being a hard worker, and it made you respect him. Masters, being the fucking piece of cardboard that he was, in his near end with WWE, actually kind of gave me a reason to like him. Carlito never really gave me a reason. And in all seriousness, I'm not trying to blame this dude. I understand he's a veteran. I understand he is very talented in what he's good at. And there is a reason he got the monster pop he did when he returned in 2023. But I'm just saying those are his flaws. Those are his flaws. And if there's one thing we're going to learn about Carlito in the next year is he's not willing to work on those flaws. He's very content in his spot with WWE. And that's why he gets belittled and berated by Ric Flair. Because he wasn't willing to put in the work to improve.
No. And this match was mainly him putting Jeff in rest holds, which does not make a match very exciting, especially a babyface versus babyface match. I get the psychology of it, that you want to limit Jeff Hardy's high-flying ability to any extent, but that doesn't mean the match is entertaining. You know? I wanted this to be like a high-flying, like, oh my god, these guys are throwing everything they got at each other. And I will say that, like, towards the end of the match, the near falls started getting better. They were pretty good. The crowd was getting into it. Carlito with the lion salt at one point, which I was like, oh man. If only a certain someone was in the WWE at this point and called Carlito out for using his move.
A lot of wrestling fans like to say, babyface match, babyface versus babyface doesn't work. I disagree, because when you're two babyfaces in a match, you also come with a task on your own. Give me a reason to pick you over the other babyface. The best example I can think of, Will Ospreay versus Hangman Adam Page. Two babyfaces should be fighting for your approval. They should be fighting for your affection. And I remember going into that main event, into that Owen Cup final, I sat back, and for the first time in God knows how long, I said, wow, I do not know who I want to win this match.
It gets to that point in babyface contests. But this one, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I just want Jeff to win. I just want Jeff to retain, but that shouldn't be the case. He does hit his charismatically enigmatic whisper in the wind. And JR did call Jeff Hardy an enigma, but he's trying so hard to ignore the fact that Jeff just spent 2 years in TNA. And Jeff made a bigger name for himself.
It worked TNA. Because do you think I knew that Jeff was in TNA for 2 years? No, I didn't. I didn't realize that until after I started watching TNA. And I remember I talked about my Netflix era. No, not this year's Netflix era. I mean, old Netflix era of me renting wrestling DVDs. And believe it or not, Jeff Hardy had a Best of TNA compilation that TNA released. I rented it, and that's how I found out, this is what Jeff's been up to for the past couple years.
Yep.
He's been in Monsters Ball matches with fucking Abyss.
He's been doing fucking Full Metal Mayhem with Abyss. He's been doing ladder matches for the world title with Jeff Jarrett, that sort of thing. But this guy, Carlito goes for a Hurricane Rana. He lands nasty on his back. Jeff then just hits one swanton and pins him to retain. A 13-minute match. It got a little better towards the end. I'm giving this 2.25 stars. And that might be a little bit generous, honestly, because this should have been way better. Should have been way better.
I remember voting for Benjamin because I didn't think I knew those two could have a better match. And don't you worry, everybody. If you thought because Jeff won the title and Johnny Nitro did not get voted into this match, that's the end of their feud, you would be dead fucking wrong because they're going to be feuding going into 2007.
Yep, and they have a pretty underrated cage match at New Year's Revolution that was considerably better than this match. Considerably
and that is
better.
The fucking blow off. They don't have their blow off until next year. Early next year, mind you, but it's going to be a few months.
Yep.
Better get used to those two motherfuckers because Survivor Series, Armageddon.
December to Dismember.
Damn, I wasn't going to mention the name, but okay.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble, No Way Out. Not WrestleMania, surprisingly. But yeah, I think around No Way Out where they finally, ironically enough, have their blow off in a random 6-man tag.
Yeah. Which
very
is
strange.
Yeah, that's really strange.
2007 WWE, you weird. You really weird.
Speaking of weird, you want to talk about this this next contest, which is the second highest profile match on the show?
Oh boy, here we are. Triple H and Shawn Michaels, D-Generation X.
That damn DX!
The newly formed alliance of Edge and Randy Orton. How did we get here?
Rated RKO.
I'm not calling them that because that was never their team name.
It is, though.
JR did something on commentary that bugged the fuck out of me. Anywho, I really liked how they came to this match. So what do you do now that Edge is no longer the WWE champion? He's wrapped up his feud with John Cena, and they are finally ready to let Randy Orton out of the doghouse. So on an episode of The Cutting Edge, Randy Orton is a guest. And Edge tells Randy Orton, you're one of the most talented wrestlers in the company. You are gifted. You are the future. But why aren't you the main eventer you should be? Well, let's go back to 2004 when Triple H turned his back on you. Remember when you were the world champion and Triple H ripped that away from you? And then Edge goes on, which brings up a match that I totally forgot about. Shawn Michaels inadvertently cost Edge the WWE Championship again in a steel cage match with John Cena. So both Edge and Orton have a major bone to pick with DX. They're tired of them holding down the quote-unquote young guys, and they want to go after DX. I thought this was a brilliant way, not only to set up this feud, but to properly set up not only DX, but Edge and Orton. Because like I said, Edge is no longer in the WWE Championship picture, and he's not going to be in the World Championship picture until after WrestleMania. So what do? Capitalize on the momentum, and I think they did that brilliantly here.
Yes. Yeah, no doubt about that. And the fans got to vote on who the special guest referee for this match was. It seems to me that they were picking these options to rig the match for Rated RKO. Because your options were Eric Bischoff, who had just spent 3 years as the heel GM of Raw, Jonathan Coachman, and Vince McMahon himself. So the fans, they vote, and Eric Bischoff wins in a landslide by he wins 60%, I think, to Coachman's 20 and Vince's 20. I think that's what it was. And JR is sitting there in complete shock. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, why the fuck are you surprised? Why the fuck are you so surprised? Because out of the three, Eric Bischoff seems to be not just the lesser of three evils against DX, but people have not seen Eric Bischoff at WWE TV in almost a year. So of course they're gonna fucking pick him. Why would you be so fucking shocked?
In a kayfabe sense, the other options do make sense. Vince McMahon just got out of feud with DX, and DX has spent all summer long embarrassing Jonathan Coachman. But even in a kayfabe sense, DX brings up the point. Like, Vince McMahon, we shoved his head so far up Big Show's ass that, he tries to block it out of his memory every time he thinks about it. And Jonathan Coachman, we threw him headfirst into a wall and spray painted his bare butt cheeks. But Eric Bischoff, we haven't done anything to him. Nope. So if they were to vote on their own match, they would have picked Bischoff too.
Yeah, and Eric Bischoff, to his credit, he does seemingly call this match right down the middle for the 18 minutes it goes on. Very deliberate 3 counts that have the same cadence the entire way. He does not fast count DX.
Because for that reason, Bischoff really doesn't have a gripe with DX.
No.
They haven't done anything to him, and he hasn't done anything to them.
And seeing as how Triple H is involved, of course this is going to be one of the longest matches on this show, because you got to give Triple H ample amount of time to do his work in the ring.
If I'm going to describe this match in one word, it's methodical.
Yeah, especially since Randy Orton is on the other side. This is not Viper Randy Orton yet. This is still hey nothing you could say era, and Randy Orton hates that theme song for some reason. But
I'm actually going to give WWE some credit here. Look who is in this match. You have 4 top tier main eventers, and they had long-term plans for all of them.
They sure did.
Which is why I really like this feud. Does it drag on a little too long? Yes. But probably from here to New Year's Revolution, this feud was very good.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And unfortunately, the long-term plans are derailed by the end of New Year's Revolution due to an unfortunate injury that we'll get into.
A very ironic injury, if you ask me.
It is incredibly ironic. But, I mean, their finishers are flying around. Michaels is dumping Edge over the top rope, and Orton is trying to focus on Triple H as much as he can. Hits an RKO. Bischoff, I think, took a ref bump at some point. And Chad Patton slips into the ring. There's some good near falls. Shawn Michaels super kicks Randy Orton. He gets the near fall because Bischoff pulls Chad Patton out of the ring and punches him right in the head. And Shawn is like, "Oh, how dare you! You're creating controversy. What are you doing here? I put Brett in the sharpshooter. I'm the controversial one." He doesn't say that. So Edge then hits Shawn with the steel chair. Eric Bischoff does not disqualify rated RKO. And then Randy Orton hits an RKO on the chair for the pin and the win after 18 minutes. An era that is now rated RKO, as they say in the interview post with Todd Grisham. Yeah, I mean, it was a good match. 3.25 stars, I think. I don't know if I'd go higher than that, but
I think the booking of this match was better than the actual match itself because this was booked almost to perfection. Yes, Edge and Orton should go over because that's how you continue the feud. If DX would have just straight up won, there'd be no reason to have a rematch. Now you do have a rematch, and to have Triple H and Shawn Michaels still protected with this special guest referee gimmick, I thought worked very well, and this really sets up the plans for the rest of the feud. I know you probably forgot about this, but I unfortunately didn't. What was the fallout of this match? Well, the next night on Raw, Edge and Orton are challenging for the World Tag Team titles, ironically enough, and I'm not going to say who the champions are because we'll talk about that later on in the show. Bischoff is also the special guest referee for this match. DX gets
Is he really?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, I forgot about that.
DX gets their heat back by helping the tag team champions retain, taking out Edge and Orton. And how do they get the revenge on Eric Bischoff? Well, they hold Bischoff in the ring, and DX says, "You know what? I got 3 words for you. Big Dick Johnson."
Oh, I forgot about that, and I wiped it from my memory. So,
and that's
thank you.
How and why Bischoff gets written off TV.
Thank you for fucking reminding me. I just thought Bischoff fucked off after this pay-per-view, but
nope. They actually had a way to write him off.
Clearly, I'm having Mandela effect and not remembering it. But yeah, so Edge and Orton are the right people to win this match, especially since it's the first one in the feud. Edge and Orton are the younger guns that are on the rise. Edge and Orton are both former world champions who are both looking to get back into that main event picture. So yeah, no, this was the right call, putting them over.
And the next chapter in the saga, in my opinion, is probably the funniest 5-on-5 Survivor Series match in WWE history. I can't wait to talk about that match.
Dude, that's going to be a blast. But up next, for the vacant Women's Championship, there was a tournament on Raw because Trish Stratus retired with the championship. And she held it up. She left it in the ring upon retirement. So now we have to crown a new champion.
This is like the tiniest bracket I've ever seen in my life. It's like an 8-woman tournament.
Vince suddenly cares about women's wrestling. But the finals come down to Lita and Mickie James. That sounds like a fantastic match. Yeah, it's funny that you say that because
didn't Trish Stratus get written off TV as women's champion and we didn't see her ass for almost a year?
I mean, and Trish did not end up retiring, which is interesting because she had more matches. She still had matches in the year 2025.
Yeah, she wrestles in 08. She wrestles in 09. She wrestles in
she had a match at WrestleMania in 2011.
That's right. She wrestled in 2011.
You're
going to disagree with me. She has the greatest match of her career at SummerSlam 2019 against Charlotte Flair.
Nope. The Becky Lynch cage match was better. Becky Lynch cage match was better than that.
And then she comes back full fucking time in 2023, which is still fucking blows my mind.
Thank you, Trish. But
I want her to come back again. I don't give a fuck.
The fans have to vote on the stipulation for this match, and you really want further proof that the WWE was really rigging this vote, because of course the fans were going to pick that option. You have a no disqualification match, you have a submission match, and you have a Divas Lumberjack match.
You know what? I voted for the no disqualification match.
The no DQ match would have been awesome.
It would have been awesome. Going, oh my god, can I see some fucking wrestling out of these ladies?
Yeah, but
that's actually around the time where I was like, hey, what if the women actually wrestled?
The Divas Lumberjack match wins, and Jerry Lawler salivates on commentary because, of course, he fucking does. This match, Mickie James and Lita are both very talented wrestlers, but this match sadly reminded me of a very dark time in pro wrestling history during the pandemic, where there were no fans in attendance, because you listen to the sounds in the background during this match, and it's all the babyface divas smashing the apron saying, Mickie, trying to get her into it. And I'm like, these fans do not give a rat's ass. Because you look at the crowd, you see a lot of them going up and down the concourse, going to the bathroom, getting a snack. They do not give a rat's ass about this women's title match.
Which is a damn shame. You know what? You know what this match deserves? I want you to put Lita and Mickie James in the fucking Barclays Center in 2017 in front of an NXT crowd and give them 16 minutes, double amount of what this match got, have them tear it the fuck up, and then the crowd would fucking care.
Yeah. A decent match with a few messy moments in there. Lita does get the cheap victory. She does regain the women's title after dropping it to Trish in the retirement match. Lita is right back on top. Because of Victoria interfering, of all people. Because Victoria and Lita totally have a partnership.
Oh, and then the most ironic thing is, next month at Survivor Series, Lita's going to retire.
And I am not looking forward to ranting about how they handled Lita's retirement, because that was fucking disrespectful.
It was.
No matter how you slice it.
You know what my reaction was as a 12-year-old? Going through literally 2 retirements in the span of 3 months, which nowadays would never fucking happen. I remember being so upset when Trish Stratus retired. And when they announced Lita's retirement, I said 2 things. Number 1, good, because I didn't like Lita. And 2, you're just copying Trish Stratus, because it was too close together.
Yeah.
In my mind, in my 12-year-old mind, I thought Lita is not really retiring. She's just pretending to retire because she wants the fans to sympathize with her the same way we sympathize with Trish Stratus.
Big time. It's
damn, 12-year-old me was really ahead of his time.
Way ahead of his time. I can't wait to fucking rant about how shitty they treated Lita on her way out. Because that should not have happened the way that it did.
Because remember, in 2006, Lita's gimmick was, she is a whore. Ha ha.
And she's a heel, so we have to embarrass her on her way out.
Yes, Lita's a whore when she is very faithful to Edge. Like, very faithful.
Yes.
Like, a little too faithful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How dare she?
How does that make her a whore?
How dare she cheat on Kane?
You know who's... Wow, I can't believe I'm saying this, so I apologize. You know who was actually a whore? Melina in 2006.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, wait, hold on. No, Melina in 2005, who slept with Batista on TV to get him to take it easy on Eminem.
Yes. Yes. But, I mean, I will give credit to these ladies for trying. Star and a half. This crowd did not care. The match came off a little bit sloppy. Didn't really get the time that it needed.
I give it a star because the crowd was so dead. Yeah. I really had no reason to care about this.
Yeah. But they certainly had a reason to care about this next match. Speaking of the tag team titles, and we've had a lot to say about the tag team titles on this podcast, it appears. We actually got them on the line here.
Is a wild match concept, and the way it came together was pretty wild as well. You have the Spirit Squad defending the World Tag Team titles against the Nature Boy Ric Flair and a partner of our choosing.
Yes.
So, for a little backstory, Kenny is starting to get a little bit of a backbone. He's starting to get a little bit of an ego because he pinned Ric Flair on an episode of Raw. And because Flair is a fucking dinosaur, he needs help to take out the Spirit Squad, and we get to select his partner.
And he needs help from another dinosaur.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Bless their souls. Bless their souls. But like
goddamn, if Flair was really the legend he was, he couldn't have pulled a favor and be like, hey, can Batista come over from SmackDown and help me fucking smack these dudes around?
Dude, I mean, if Big Dave wasn't winning the world title, he would have fucking destroyed those cheerleaders, man.
He wouldn't even have to tag Flair in.
Man, he would have just squashed them, and the referee would have had to stop it out of mercy. So who do we have?
Sergeant Slaughter, Roddy Piper,
yes,
and the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Well,
I actually voted for Dusty in this match.
Well, it's the American Dream, baby, because Dusty Rhodes, he has Gold Dust, who's not in WWE anymore, but he has another son who's looking to rise up from the ashes and build his own kingdom. I think his name is Cody. I think his name is Cody. No, I've never heard of Cody. No,
that guy's a jabroni.
Jesus, but yeah. So apparently,
I don't want to poke too much fun, but it has to be brought up. My God, Piper was. Oh my God, I give Piper all the credit in the world for wrestling without a shirt. So Beer Belly doesn't begin to describe him.
To your point, Dusty Rhodes was WWE's option that they wanted to win. But Roddy Piper does win the poll with 46% of the vote. And honestly, watching Piper walk down with that big, gigantic smile on his face that I love seeing out of the hot rod every single time I go back and watch him, God, it's sad that it's been 10 years since we lost him, but Flair was very excited. Clearly. I think he would have been excited either way.
You know what's probably the saddest thing for me that came out of Piper's death? Piper actually had a podcast around the time that he passed away, and I listened to it religiously. It was a very good podcast. And then when he passed away, I remember that first week updating my app and going, a new episode's never going to come out now.
No.
And I think that just really proves the point that even in that stage in his life, Piper was still connected with fans.
Yes. Dusty and Sarge do come out to support the legends in this match because the Spirit Squad obviously is 5 cheerleaders. Don't want to be going 5 against 2 against them. But, I mean, you hear the bagpipes and, the hot rod comes out and it's a very somber point in the Hot Rod's life. But it also feels like it's very uplifting because if Piper was not voted into this match, we probably would have lost him a lot sooner than we did. Because it turns out that, they do the match, Flair and Piper pull the miracle, Flair makes Mickie tap out to the figure 4 leg lock, Flair and Piper win the belts. It's only the second time in his career that Piper actually won gold because Roddy Piper was so selfless in giving back to the business. When it was pitched for him to win a title, he did not want to win a title. Never wanted to do that. Aside from the Intercontinental title in 1992. He did that.
I was asking about that because when he wrestled Brett for that title in WrestleMania 8,
that was a fucking awesome match.
Oh yeah, very underrated. Was he defending or challenging?
He was defending the title because he won it at the Royal Rumble that year from the Mountie.
Oh boy, dare I bring up Brett in the 90s? I'm expecting Good Mic Work to hack our feed any minute now and give me a 30-minute lecture about the feud of Brett and Piper at Mania 8. You know what, Greg? Greg, I hope, Greg, are you listening? Can you do that, please? Because I would love a history lesson.
A history lesson about Flair and Piper, or not Flair and Piper, Brett and Piper, sorry.
I could listen to Greg talk about 80s and 90s wrestling for 4 hours straight. So if he wants to do that, I will sit here and I will listen and I will not interrupt.
Yes. Yeah. So, okay. So the match happens. Flair and Piper win the titles. Dusty and Sarge help fight off the heels. And it is revealed behind the scenes. So Flair and Piper are only champions for 8 days. Piper is written off. Flair is basically defending the world titles by himself. He loses them to Rated RKO on an episode of Raw.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They have that match first the next night on Raw. And Flair and Piper actually retain. I remember that being a feel-good moment for me. I remember watching that and being like, holy shit, the old-timers actually pulled out the win. Because when they booked that match, I go, well, god fucking damn it. There goes the feel-good moment. Edge and Orton are just going to win the titles. And they retained. I go, holy shit, that was actually pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, they did. And Piper, the next week, is written out with a concerto from Edge because it was revealed that Piper went into the doctor and he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. So they had to write Piper off so he could go get treatment. And he credits the fans voting him into that match because that saved his life at the time. Because there's a chance that if he was not voted in, they would not have caught the cancer in time. So, Piper... Thank you, fans, for giving us 10 more years of Roddy Piper.
Piper beat cancer. It really bugs me. I can't remember. I think it was in 2009. Yes, it was in 2009. Piper cut a promo on Chris Jericho, and while they were going back and forth, I remember Piper telling Jericho, "You don't scare me. I beat so and so. I beat so and so. I beat cancer." And I was like, "That is the hardest line Piper's ever dropped."
It is. After you beat cancer, nothing should scare you.
Yeah.
Really. So, we miss you, Hot Rod, every day. Wow. I mean, it's just that story. The fact that the fans voted him in.
You want a lighter note? If you want a good laugh, go watch Roddy Piper on Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He plays a character called the Maniac, and he is a indie wrestler who's a real, he's a real piece of trash. But
he is a maniac. He is a maniac for sure. In more ways than one.
Show. He makes several appearances from 2009 and 2010. Which I go, god damn, he must have loved his time on that show because
I bet. Definitely.
He was his character was definitely one of the most memorable.
Yeah. So anyway, on to probably I gave that match probably a star and 3/4. It wasn't really a lot.
I'm going to give it 2 stars for the moment. Because Piper and Flair did get a pretty good pop after they won the titles.
Yeah, and JR was selling it on commentary like it was some gigantic miracle. And it was. And it absolutely was. At a combined age of 109, Flair and Piper are the champions. So it's...
in the span of a year, Flair won 2 titles. Flair, again, Flair was on something else in 2005 and 2006.
Yeah, because he was the IC champion at this point last year in the Retro.
Flair was wrestling like he had something to prove. I mean, this man was...
Mickie will never retire!
He was taking bumps off of ladders. He was wrestling Extreme Rules matches against the Big Show. Like, my God, who was who was Flair trying to impress?
And he has nobody to impress. So, anyway. Up next is your main event. A triple threat match to determine the champion of champions. The WWE champion John Cena versus the World Heavyweight champion King Booker versus the ECW champion The Big Show. And the fans have to vote which title is on the line. Wouldn't you know it, because King Booker is the most loathable heel out of the three and the least likable, his title is going to be on the line, the World Heavyweight Championship. So... Cena and Big Show both look at him when the match starts, and Booker's like, "Oh, come on now, suckers!"
So my favorite part of this is just the build. How did we get here? Well, one night on Raw, Booker and Big Show just show up for some reason, and they have a fucking dick measuring contest with each other. My title's better than your title. My title's better than your title. My title. And Vince came out and said, "Oh, shut the fuck up. You're all going to fight at Cyber Sunday. And then you all can, and whoever wins can say they have the biggest dick." That's all it is.
That's literally all it is.
On the line of this match until Vince announces that one of the titles is going to be on the line. And you know why I voted for King Booker?
Why?
Me and my marky ass 12-year-old self thought, "Oh my God, John Cena could be the undisputed champion." I wanted that. I wanted John Cena to win.
But whoever won this poll was also going to win this match.
Yeah.
Like, the fans were essentially picking who was going over. And John Cena, as polarizing as he was, I think got the least amount of votes to have his title on the line. So, I mean, mad credit to him still being a great babyface. But this was... it was a run-of-the-mill triple threat match. It wasn't my favorite triple threat match I've ever seen, but certainly solid enough because all three guys are definitely competent workers. Cena and Booker definitely did a lot of the legwork in this thing, like really, really rewinding the clock back to their U.S. title best-of-5 series.
From
a couple years ago.
This is my favorite part of the match because in an era where Cena, he's starting to get into that wheelhouse of, I'm just going to go out there, do my shit, and still be over. Booker T said, abso-fucking-lutely not. You're going to be in the ring with me. You're working.
Yep, sucker. Sucker,
so I think
you're going to work with
my
me.
Favorite and the best part of this match is that Cena and Booker went in there and they actually worked the match.
Especially since Cena outsmarted Booker T in the locker room prior to the match because he was like, "Okay, yeah, sure. I'll work with you. No problem. But only if you give me a night with Sharmell. That's all I want." It's almost like he turned into Kurt Angle, like on a dot. Like, what is the obsession with Sharmell here?
Ha ha ha, so funny. She's a woman, so she's being treated like an object. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, fuck
comedy, WWE.
Yeah, fuck this type of comedy. Yeah, Ron Simmons says damn after they go forward with it and Booker T agrees to it. Stupid.
Very, very small footnote. Ron Simmons is back for some reason, and his gimmick is something will happen on TV. He comes out of nowhere, and he just says, "Damn."
Specifically something ridiculous. And it's gonna be a running gag for at least a decade.
And they debut this in the randomest way possible. Cena's cutting a promo on Booker and Big Show, and then Ron Simmons just comes out. And I remember the comment, JR goes, "Oh my God, that's Ron Simmons." Like, it's this big fucking deal. Like, he was going to be debuted. Yeah, like, he was being debuted as this fucking big deal. He got on the mic and he says, "Damn," and then he leaves. And you know what? I got to be honest. I never got the joke.
Well, I mean...
I never got the joke.
It's because of how intensely he would say it and how he would scare them. So, I didn't really find it as funny either, but... Because you're stating the obvious. You're stating the obvious. Of course, what you see is ridiculous. So you're just really exclaiming that point and emphasizing it.
I get the premise of the joke. Like, like a running gag on a sitcom where, it's this catchphrase. I get it, but why is that your catchphrase? There's a reason why Sheldon says bazinga. on Big Bang Theory. You know, there's a reason why Steve Urkel says, "Did I do that?" But
there's
Ron,
a
why are you
reason.
saying, "Damn"?
There's a reason why B Squared would say "Booyah" after John Cena finished the battle rap.
But Ron Simmons, serious question. If I ever meet this man, I'm gonna ask him this. Why did you say "damn"?
And I said "damn" at the finish of this match. That's for sure.
The
Jesus.
first like few weeks of this gimmick, like I was scratching my head. Like I don't get the joke. What is the joke? Like, is this leading to anything?
Well, the joke is the finish of this. So Cena hits Sharmell with the FU or the attitude adjustment, because of course he does. Because man-on-woman violence is peak comedy, WWE. Fuck off. But he has Booker locked in the STFU submission hold when all of a sudden a random fucking bald guy goes into the ring. And no, I'm not talking about Ricochet. I am talking about Kevin Federline. Who's Kevin Federline? That's a fucking great question, and I don't blame you for asking it, viewers. Kevin Federline.
Yeah.
Kevin Federline's claim to fame in 2006 is that he was Britney Spears' husband.
Let me correct you. He was Britney Spears' abusive husband.
Bingo.
This man is the pinnacle of fucking... He is worse than the fucking dog shit that stuck to my shoe that I accidentally stepped in.
He is
I remember this.
The literal salt of the earth.
I remember this like it was fucking yesterday when I would be sitting in the living room. TMZ just happened to be on, and I just hear Britney Spears and Kevin Federline. Britney Spears and K-Fed. Kevin Federline got arrested again for domestic abuse charges.
Yeah, go figure. Go figure.
That's all he was known for. And when they brought this motherfucker on TV, even at 12 years old, I just go, why?
Good Lord. Because he is promoting his debut rap album called Playing with Fire, which, ironically enough, is considered one of the worst albums ever put out.
Oh, Kevin Federline, let me tell you, he is no Eminem. He is no Logic. He is no Macklemore. He is no John Cena.
He is far from platinum rapper. Could you imagine the ending of WrestleMania 41 and it's Kevin Federline that comes out to help John Cena and not Travis Scott? That would be coming full circle.
You want a good laugh right now?
Yes.
So just out of sheer curiosity, I looked up Kevin Federline on Spotify. Not only is that album not on here, he has one song, and the song is called Popozao. What?
This fucking guy. So he goes in there.
Leo is a better artist than Kevin Federline. Actually, that's a very good point. Simu Liu, yes, Shang-Chi himself. He actually is a singer. He released an EP, and he's not bad at all.
Good.
He's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Go listen to his music.
So he goes in there. Cena's got Booker locked in the STFU. K-Fed hits Cena with his own spinner title, and Cena does not sell it at all. He looks up and he's like, the fuck was that? Is that like a fly on my shoulder or something? He gets up, he sees it's K-Fed, and he's doing the you can't see me, you can't see me. And I'm like, this JR asked it best, what in the hell is K-Fed doing here? Like, Jesus. And then K-Fed leaves. Booker T, the referee is distracted. King Booker hits Cena in the head with the big gold belt, and he pins and wins to retain. John Cena got a pinfall loss in 2006 because of Britney Spears' ex-husband.
I mean, I understand that they wanted to protect Cena, but there's that saying, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Yes, there is. Why did you bring this fucking shit stain on humanity into WWE? Like, this benefited nobody. And I mean nobody.
No, especially since this actually led to a match on Raw on New Year's Day, 2007, the go-home show to New Year's Revolution, and Kevin Federline actually beat John Cena with the help of Umaga. So,
No, actually, I changed my mind. I think Kevin Federline needs to be John Cena's last opponent just so Cena can get his win back.
Yikes. I mean, yeah, no, fucking Dominic Mysterio, Gunther, eat your heart out. Yeah, let's bring Kevin Federline back in. I mean, WWE's done crazier things, right? Like, actually turn John Cena heel in his retirement year. But, like, Jesus Christ. I feel like I would actually, like, that would be something that would make me quit WWE, I think. Seriously.
Oh my God.
Like, my God.
This is crazy that we're talking about this. So out of sheer curiosity, I just Googled Kevin Federline to see if this motherfucker is like, I don't know, what's he doing? If he's like smoking crack outside the by a dumpster at Arby's.
Yes.
No, get this.
Yes.
Britney, one day ago, this was posted. Britney Spears deletes Instagram after series of bizarre posts amid clash with ex-husband Kevin Federline. This guy is still a fucking nuisance in her life. Wow.
Fucking get him out of here. Seriously.
Wow.
That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But leave Britney alone. I'm serious.
Hey, Chris Rocker, you kind of had a point.
Yeah.
Dare I say.
Yeah. Yeah, big time. So, King Booker retains the title, and he will go on to defend it at Survivor Series in the main event. That's something we'll talk about. Cena and the Big Show will continue their little beef that they have cross-branded in a traditional Survivor Series contest.
Very strange, may I add. The next time John Cena defends the WWE title on pay-per-view is New Year's Revolution.
Yep.
They really didn't have... I don't think they had any plans for Cena post-Unforgiven.
Nope.
Very strange to say.
They were just killing time, yeah. And if you want to wonder why John Cena's reign lasted 380 days, this is probably a good explanation why, because we will not be talking about a WWE title match until New Year's Revolution in this podcast. So, yeah, I mean, that's where we're at. King Booker walks away. K-Fed is just doing the "you can't see me." This was a disappointing show in a lot of ways.
You ready for my final grade?
Yes.
5 out of 10.
Whoa. That was higher than I was expecting. I'm going 4. I'm going with
absolutely nothing to write home about this pay-per-view.
No.
And it's not horrible. Like, the matches aren't garbage. It's just a very uneventful show. It is the definition of I would not drop $40 for this show. Absolutely not.
No way. No way. And we did that in 2006. I did watch this pay-per-view live, unfortunately, but
I didn't.
Oh,
you know
God.
what I remember doing though?
What?
Man, you want to talk about the internet still being very primitive?
Yeah.
I remember our home computer did not work, but my grandma's did. I remember calling her after this pay-per-view, asking her to go to WWE.com and have her read the results. Grandma, I am so sorry I made you do that. Because I couldn't wait 24 hours to watch Raw.
And then she was like, King Booker won the triple threat with the help of Kevin Federline.
I think she did. I think she said King Booker defeats John Cena and Big Show to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. And I'm like, again, I would love to beat the shit out of 12-year-old me, because I think I followed up with, what? How? I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So, not a really a nothing show, all things considered. Fan voting is starting to not look as revolutionary as it was sold to us as. And there's going to be 2 more of these that we'll talk about in the retro, and then that is it. That is it.
Next year's, it's even worse.
I mean, it's not like... Okay, I think Cyber Sunday 2007 does at least have better matches on it overall, consistently, than this show. But no, I mean, it's not like it's going to be anything like better as an eventful show. You know what I mean?
I actually liked 2008. I think 2008
was a good show. It was a really good show. Yeah, with a world title change at the end of it.
And a good last man standing match between Big Show and The Undertaker.
You're never going to let me live that down, are you? You're never going to let me live that down.
It was a good match.
In a couple of months, we are going to be talking about one of my favorite last man standing matches ever. So I am looking forward to that. I'm definitely I'm gushing at the opportunity to do that. But yeah, I think that might just about wrap it up. Any final thoughts on this pay-per-view and what the viewers can look forward to?
No, this pay-per-view was not good at all. What you can look forward to is coming up Survivor Series for WWE, Full Gear for AEW, and two dorks just continuing to talk about wrestling.
Yes.
And next up in the pod is Survivor Series, ironically enough, 2006, which I don't remember being a particularly amazing show.
It wasn't a good show.
It
wasn't a good show either. It wasn't a good show either.
Again, we're going to get to a certain pay-per-view at the end of the year.
Oh.
And we're also going to go over the logistics of what WWE was expecting out of us as a consumer. We got not one, not two, but three pay-per-views four pay-per-views spanning from November to January.
Ridiculous.
And they wonder why the buy rates were so poor for a couple of these shows.
Ridiculous, yeah. No, especially when you consider that one of them was an ECW exclusive show, and WWE's version of ECW is just an abortion.
No. I take that back. 5 pay-per-views. No, Survivor Series, Armageddon, December to Dismember, New Year's Revolution, and the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
I ordered one of those shows.
You didn't order Survivor Series?
Nope. I ordered New Year's Revolution, and my friend got the Royal Rumble.
I'm pretty sure. I remember. No, the only one of those 4 that wasn't ordered for me was December to Dismember.
If there are 3 pay-per-views, I was never 4. Okay, these are the pay-per-views I was never allowed to order. Survivor Series and Armageddon, because those are around holiday time.
Really?
No Way Out, because I always either picked the Royal Rumble, and that was right before WrestleMania, and Backlash, because that was right after. And my parents always said, I'd be like, I want to watch No Way Out. They'd be like, okay, but you're not getting WrestleMania. Or I'd be like, I wanted to watch Backlash, and it's like, okay, well, you wouldn't have seen WrestleMania. We were never allowed to get 2 in a row.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time revisiting those shows. Maybe not so much for the ECW show, because I feel like that's just gonna be us being ultra sad, even sadder than Armageddon 2004, which I know almost broke you. But anyway, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Tap that thumbs up as well. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much again for your continued support of the content. Y'all are the best. Commence that back talk. Talk to you guys soon.